Hello, everybody. We are back on our second part of our Discog dive into the Clash, um, which this second album, which was 1978's "Give 'Em Enough Rope," I liked it way more than the first one. I still wouldn't exactly say that I love it or that I'm making a huge turnaround on punk music in general or anything, but um, I enjoyed this one a lot more, like noticeably more, to the point where I actually got some songs out of this one onto my Spotify I liked, which I don't just add songs that I like, tolerate. It's when I'm like, oh, I want to hear that again for sure. Like I want to bookmark this basically so that I can always be able to find every song that I've had like a really positive response to. Um, so some things on my liked list are not like songs that I love necessarily, but there are songs where like I wanted to remember that song and not have to like scrub through an entire discography looking for it again or something like that. Because I'm not going to remember the name of every single song I ever listened to, especially if it's like something that's like, oh, I kind of like that, right? But anyway, so yeah, I didn't get any songs on my liked list for the first album. However, the second album, like I said, 5 songs, which is half of the track list. So not bad for a genre that I'm not traditionally interested in. Um, there was just, I think some of it might have been the song structures or perhaps the instrumentals were more to my liking, I suppose. But yeah, I just generally had a more overall positive response to this one. I also want to point out the lyric in "Julie's Been Working for the Drug Squad" about how there was a great raid and all of the drugs ever made have been arrested. Like that's fucking funny. So I appreciated that. Which again, that's why I'm like, while I'm doing this, I'm keeping like the lyrics tabs open. I want to try to like soak these in as much as I can, because sometimes if I'm not like reading a lyrics page, I will mishear lyrics in lots of different kinds of music. So I wanted to make sure that I was like getting the intended or giving the song my attention, essentially. So that's how I've been doing these. So I want to reiterate, by the way, that I did not dislike or hate the first album. It's just not something I necessarily liked enough to ever necessarily want to listen to again. The second album, though, at least the songs that were more pleasing to my ear than the others, I would like to listen to again. So that's why I added them to my liked list. Um, so this proves my point about this is why it's good to do this even if I don't feel like I'm gonna get this perfect revelation experience of like, where has this band been all my life, because I kind of expected that I probably wouldn't just like full on love every album in this particular instance. I had no expectation of that, but already on our second album we've come away with some stuff that we will keep with us, right? I say us, that I'm going to keep with me, right? Because these are my personal feelings about this album. But you know what I mean? I encourage people to listen to lots and lots and lots of music that they are not familiar with to build up a strong foundation. To have tons and tons of songs that at any moment you could just be like, you know what, I'm feeling like this today. And you've got songs that you maybe would have missed if you never really got out there and tried some stuff out. There's a ton of artists that are in my liked list on Spotify that like I had to find out about them manually, like I wasn't exposed to them by anyone else. I've never heard of them outside of my own experience directly engaging with them. A little band I want to bring up that has some songs that I fucking love. Ego Likeness. I don't think they're that big. I don't think a lot of people really know who they are. They have some songs that I really fucking like, and I wouldn't know that if I didn't one day, see them in oh, you listen to this, so you might like this, and I just clicked on it, and I was like, let's check it out, right? So there is value in doing this, and that's why I'm happy to take the chance that I might not fully enjoy the whole experience of listening to all these different artists and all of their albums, because in some cases this might really be a, a bad time. But I started off a little ambivalent with the first album here, and on this second album already, we've got songs that I'm, excited about. I'm glad that I'm doing this, and yeah. So again, I thought this album was pretty cool. Um, I liked it for the most part. Um, so I guess I don't know. I don't really have a whole lot more specific to say about it, I suppose. So our next one is going to be their third album, London Calling from 1979, and we'll talk about that next time. So thank you for watching. Let me know if you've ever heard this album, what you think about it. If you're a Clash fan, let me know where you would rank it. I actually would love to hear that from individual people. Like I suppose I could look up like, oh, these are the Clash albums ranked, but like, when you read an article like that, they're usually I don't know, there's often an impersonal aspect to it, and sometimes they just pick things sort of like either because they're the expected answer or because of like their importance in ways that aren't related to the music necessarily, which isn't, I don't know. I understand giving something credit, for like, oh, this was the first album to do this. And it's like, well, okay. In 300 years, if someone's just listening to these albums with no context of like how they were released or anything, will they like it? Right? That's what I think matters, is whether the music holds up and whether it's good. So I don't know. I understand putting emphasis on like accomplishments and what am I trying to say? Like when like standards have been crushed and something comes out doing something nobody's done before or whatever. That's all well and good, but yeah, if you're a fan of the Clash, throw up your own personal ranking. There's not that many albums to rank. Say what you believe, man. I'm curious to see. Although considering this is one of my videos, I'm never gonna get a comment on any of them. That's fine, whatever. But anyway, yeah, I've been rambling for way too long now. So anyway, thank you. I'll see you guys in the next video, and yeah, we'll talk about the next album in that video. So thank you for watching.